Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. It is Thursday, May the 16th, 2024. Want to jump right into this. This was just brought to my attention, so I wanted to let you all know. So, some of you are probably aware about a month or so ago, the ATF uh, put together a new rule saying that you, as a private citizen, would have to register as an FFL in order to do a private sale or even sell or give a firearm to a family member. So that's coming up uh, to be signed in May the 20th, just in 4 days. So, all that being said, yesterday, Senator John Corbin out of Texas and followed by Tom Tillis out of my great state of North Carolina put together a congressional disapproval act. And what it is, it's pushing back on this bill that the ATF is going forward with that goes into effect on May 20th. Well, some of you are probably asking, well, what's the big deal with that? That's what we want. Well, exactly, that's what we want. The problem there it lies here. So some of you will remember back in 2022, the Biden's Bipartisan Safeties Community Act. That was done in May of 2022. It was signed into effect June 24th, I believe it was, of 2022 after the Uvalde shooting. Well, all that being said, that bill passed, as it says, bipartisan, and also it means so. What it means is that there was some obviously Democrats that signed on to it, Republicans signed on to it, and I think there was one independent. Well, moving forward, after that bill passed, there was some back and forth of who all signed on to that because they obviously there was some Republicans. So on this list, this is a list of those who signed on to the Biden's Bipartisan Safety Communities Act. That's a mouthful. So you'll see I've got some highlighted, and there's a reason I've got them highlighted, and I'll show you here in a few minutes. So you've got John Cornyn. I apologize, I mispronounced his last name a minute ago. It's John Cornyn out of Texas, Tom Tillis out of North Carolina, Lindsey Graham out of South Carolina, and Mitt Romney out of Utah. And you'll see some other Republicans that also signed on to it, but these that I've got highlighted is kind of unique. So yesterday, Cornyn and Tillis and some other colleagues, I believe it was 43 other Republicans, put out this resolution to block the unconstitutional Biden ATF rule. All right, all well and good. I'm on line with that. The problem is that these people are the ones that helped pass the Bipartisan Safety Communities Act. So Corbyn on his website says the U.S. Senators John Cornyn and Tom Tillis and 43 state or Senate Republicans today introduced a joint resolution of disapproval under the Congressional Review Act to strike down the Bureau of ATF rule on definition of quote engaged in the business unquote as a dealer in firearms, which ignores the law and congressional intent and flagrantly violates the Constitution to try to require anyone who sells a firearm to register as a federal firearm licensee. This rule is proof that the Biden administration is a dishonest broker and Congress must hold it accountable for its actions in favor of its gun grabbing liberal base over the constitutional rights law abiding Americans, said Senator Cornyn. We will fight this lawless rule tooth and nail to ensure the God given right to keep and bear arms is preserved and this flagrant distortion of congressional intent of our landmark mental health and school safety law is struck down. So it goes on, how they're obviously against all this. Well, the problem lies is when people that have signed on to this, and here's the highlighted, you got Mitch McConnell, you got Cornyn, he signed on to it, you got Tom Tillis, he signed on to it. You also got Mitt Romney, and you've also got Lindsey Graham. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're not following along, and I apologize, so these yahoos are the ones that signed on for the Biden's Safer Communities Act bill that passed back in 2022. Now they're coming out and saying, no, you can't do this. So it's kind of like, well, yeah, we'll back you on it. Now, no, we're not going to back you on it. So they're wishy-washy. I know that's shocking for a politician. Um, the problem now is that uh, in order for it to be overturned, you've got to have three things. It's got to pass the House, it's got to pass the Senate, it's got to pass the President. Well, uh, last time I checked, the Democrats were running the Senate, and there's a Democratic president. So this is not going to pass. Like Jared Yannis said on Guns and Gadgets, this is not going to pass. So, like he said, the question is, well, then why are they doing it? Well, they want to be on record. Why do they want to be on record? Well, what's coming up in November? Elections. So, it's kind of like, well, maybe these people forgot that, we signed on to this, or don't know that we signed on to this or back in 2022. But now they're seeing just a few months before the election that we're pushing against it, knowing damn good and well it ain't going to pass. So, yeah, the writing's on the wall there. So GOA, along with NRA, surprisingly, is supporting Cornyn's efforts to block this ATF rule. So we'll see how it goes. I don't hold out much faith on it, but I guess trying is better than not trying. So there, Gun Owners America is supportive of Senator Cornyn's efforts to block President Biden's new ATF rule criminalizing private firearm sales, which are protected under the Second Amendment and legal in the majority of states, said GO Director of Federal Affairs Aiden Johnston. Quote, this is nothing more than an attempt to force gun owners to fill out gun registration paperwork like the Forms 4473 before transferring even one firearm to even a family member. The death of Brian Malinowski at the hands of armed ATF agents, without body cams, I might add, sent a clear message from the Biden administration to gun owners: comply or else. Yeah, the shooting of Brian Malinowski is another subject I will dive into at a later date. And then the NRA says, with the stroke of the pen, the Biden administration once again oversteps its authority with this new rule, said NRA ILA Executive Director Randy Kosick. The regulation threatens to turn tens of thousands of upstanding citizens into criminals for exercising their constitutional rights by selling even a single firearm. The NRA fully supports Senator Cornyn and Representative Clyde's legislation to invalidate this rule. So there you have it. So this is what's going on. So just so you know, you can go back and look and see who signed on to the Biden Safer Communities Act, and then compare it to either where you live, or see who signed on to uh, this Disapproval Act. I think it's kind of wishy-washy, but do we expect any less? So anyway, I just wanted to bring you up to date on that. Uh, as always, please stay safe, stay armed, and stay blessed. And until the next video, have a great and safe day.